Hola Madridistas, welcome to the first preview of the 24-25 UCL season as we start on the long road to Munich because with all the new games, new teams to face off against as well, but of course, as always, we have to beat all of our old rivals to actually defend our UCL campaign this season. To actually break down the first game, Stuttgart's visit to the Bernabeu on Wednesday, I'm joined today by Farouk. But before we get to that, a quick shout out to our sponsors, Manscaped. The pioneers in male grooming have done it once again. They have brought in new sexy products to take care of your luscious hair, both on your head and in those hard to reach places. But yeah, if you're looking to score any sort of male grooming product, look no further than manscaped.com and use code LBR20 for 20% off and free shipping. It'll really help out the channel as well. And this season, we have also partnered up with the official merchandise partner for La Liga and Real Madrid, Fanatics. So if you're looking to actually get yourself a brand new kit on the cheap, head on over to the link in the description below. They'll really help out the channel as well. But yeah, with that out of the way, Farooq, how have you been doing, man? Have you started hearing the UCL anthem in your dreams yet?
Man, not yet, man. Not yet, man. Hopefully, tomorrow we get some, we get back to, the stuff with the UCL anthem and all that, and also hopefully, that also awakens our players as well. I hope the anthem, is something that, as everyone always talks about with Real Madrid, especially at the Bernabeu when the anthem plays, it wakes, it wakes up something, that you don't even know exists. So yeah, I hope tomorrow we get to see that anthem, like reinvigorate our players and remind them that okay, yeah, there is a reason why they play for Real Madrid.
Yeah, do you think it's an infectious thing? Like Mbappe has obviously faced off so many nights. He has heard the anthem so many times, but do you think being in Madrid, it's gonna be special for him or different for him?
I definitely think so, man. I mean, even Tchouaméni had played, with Monaco. Even, I can't recall exactly, but I think Tchouaméni had played with Monaco as well. Jude Bellingham had played with Borussia Dortmund as well. But like it was a different thing, like with this guy. So it's definitely infectious, man. Let's not forget, when Camavinga first came to the team as well. He just came in and all of a sudden, like high-profile Champions League games, and he was, there like performing week in, week out as also. I think it's definitely very, very infectious, and that's the one thing about Real Madrid that you just cannot quantify. How do they transfer such, an effect from generations to generations, from players to players? It's been there since the beginning of time, through to the eras of winning the first 5 Champions Leagues, and then we go further down, the Puskás and all those guys, to then modern day legends of the Rauls and the Casillas, and even Cristianos and all that. So yeah, it's something that's just been there throughout the history of the club, man.
Oh wow, I'm already fired up just listening to you. But yeah, man, like I feel
Yeah,
like
man.
I don't know. Do you feel like some of the magic could be lost with all the new games for the group stage? Do you think there's more room for error, or what's your general take on this?
Yeah, I think it's just like same shade, different color, man. That's just the thing, like it's just we're gonna go to the round of 16 quarterfinals, and we're gonna have the same group of players. And I just think even uh, you literally play 8 games, and I think if you are able to win 4 or 5 of them, basically you're through to the next round. Even even if you win half of them, or even maybe 3 matches, who knows, might even get you a shot at the playoffs. So
Yep.
basically you go to the playoff again, and you also have another chance as well for that. So yeah, I do think eventually like the big guns are gonna be there, man. I think we're not gonna get a lot of surprises. I just think like we'll go to the quarterfinals and the round of 16, and it's gonna be like the people that we expect.
Yeah, honestly, like I don't know if people were getting tired of the group stage. At least, like for me, if I had to face off against Shakhtar again and I had to do the preview once again, I would lose my mind. But at least, like this time around, we can get to like face some pretty good teams, some different teams as well. The
But
Milan.
that's the point, though, Jacob. The point is this: like, I'm just thinking about this. Like, if I'm a Real Madrid, right? Like, I'm playing Man City in the group stage in a group stage that I have to play 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have to bring my A game?
That's true.
You understand? Why do I have to bring my A game? You get the point. So like, I know that okay, like I have to play maybe Man. Okay, let's say for example, I think for us we play Milan,
Mm-hmm.
and who is the other team we play?
We
Do you
played
remember the other
Dortmund,
team from?
Liverpool, Atalanta. Those are the big games. Additionally, Stuttgart, Lille, Salzburg, and Brest, like some of the lesser known teams.
So that's the thing. Like we play Liverpool, we play Dortmund, and we play Milan. If I'm not, those are the three big teams we play, right?
Yep.
So let's assume we win one of those. We win one of those games and lose the other two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just mathematically let's assume this, right? So like we still have 5 more games. We win those 5 games, we're through easily.
Yeah, the stakes are
You
quite
understand? So
less.
like it's exactly like the stakes are not there. You understand? So like it's just like a glorified friendly eventually. Like it's a
Come on, man.
pre UEFA
For Real
Champions League.
Madrid, like every single game here, I don't think it's going to be considered friendly. Maybe for
Bro,
some other
come on! Like I
teams.
mean, it's not it's nothing, man. Come on, we remember the season there. We we lost to Shakhtar. I think we lost to Shakhtar in the group stage
We
in one
lost
of
to
our
Shakhtar, we
Champions League
lost to
winning
Tottenham, we lost
seasons.
to PSG.
We lost to Sheriff as well. I think
Yeah.
in one of our Champions League winning seasons, we went there and Harry Winks and Dele Alli literally became I don't know, Maradona and Zidane together in the middle of the pitch, and we still won the Champions League that year. So like it's not like like okay, yeah, Real Madrid plays every single game. No, like let's not lie to ourselves. Like it's until after that February comes that those players actually wake up and start playing. This is just what it has been. Okay, yeah, there have been seasons where like we've broken all the records of the most wins in the group stage, most goals scored, whatever. Yeah, of course. But generally, the normalcy is like, okay, yeah, we just coast through the group stages. There's always that 1 or 2 freak results here and there, and then we move on and do stuff. So I don't think like the point is like it's additional games. Why do you need
Yeah.
additional games? And then tomorrow you come and you complain that they're playing too many games. So it just doesn't make sense. And then you go to the Club World Cup in the summer as well after playing the Club World Cup in the winter as well. Don't forget about that. So it's really crazy. So that's why I just feel like it's just all about getting more money, man. Get more TV games, get more TV money. So that's just the thing, man.
Yeah, it'll remain to be seen, man. Like people said a lot about the Nations League as well. It's just too many games. It's a meaningless tournament. But if you actually tune into it, there's some exciting games. Hopefully, we see
Yeah,
more of those.
that's the thing, Jacob. Like, me and you now as football fans, do you tell me that there's 2 more Real Madrid games to watch, and I'll say like, bro, fuck it, I don't want to watch it.
No way. We're gonna watch
Definitely
every
not.
single
I
one.
am excited. Yeah, let's do this, man. Let's switch it. That. Of course, when you give us more games, we as fans, we want more games. You understand? But the point is, we see a deterioration in the performances of the players. So this is the thing. Like we always want more games. Of course, like the Nations League, we're all gonna watch the Nations League. We have 2 extra games of the Champions League. We're gonna watch it so excitedly. So it's not like, oh, yeah, no, we're not gonna tune in. No, we're excited to do this. But the point is, there is some
Yeah.
people who are paying the prices somewhere. There's a limit to this eventually.
Yeah, there's a limit, and it remains to be seen if the team will actually give it its all against someone like Salzburg or Brest. When we are basically guaranteed our qualification to the round of 16.
Exactly, man. That's just the thing. Like it's gonna be really interesting to see, how the games turn out. Because I kind of imagine like if after you win 4 games, you're almost guaranteed, to pass through. So then the last 4 games, what happened to that?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, the other thing that I'm excited about is that it's a chance to face off against some really good teams early on, so we can probably work on some of our own issues and then get the team to a better shape. Maybe even in October or November. That's what I'm hopeful for.
Yeah, definitely, I agree with you. I think that's one thing, honestly, because I think in the Champions League we have 3 straight games of like I think Dortmund, Milan, and Liverpool back to back, and then it ends with Atalanta as well.
Yeah.
In Bergamo. So I think that might be an interesting stretch of games to see. What at least you have. You're testing yourself against the bigger teams. Even as I said, like, or even if it's a glorified friendly, but you're still testing yourself against those bigger teams, and to see where your standard is or where your standard isn't. But the point is, again, like when you look at the teams we have, it's Borussia Dortmund, it's AC Milan, and it's Liverpool. With all due respect to all these 3 teams, I mean, they're not. I mean, it's not Man City, it's not Harry Kane, it's So
That's true.
yeah, man. I mean, that's not a team that like those are not teams that put too much of stuff into it. But of course, let's not be disrespectful. These are also powerhouses in Europe, and there's a reason why they're where they are in this in the tournament. So yeah, let's see, man. Let's see.
Yep, that's a good segue into actually the Stuttgart game because this is a team we've not really faced off recently. Just a couple of seasons ago, they were actually fighting for this top spot in Bundesliga because they were in the playoffs for relegation, and then they apparently had to beat Hamburg to stay alive. And then last season, like this coach Sebastian Hoeneß, like he absolutely turned it around, and this is certainly a team that's going to be difficult to break down for us, especially with us considering that, even RB Leipzig gave us a lot of trouble. Dortmund gave us a lot of trouble. We're going to be having a difficult time against these German teams.
Definitely, man. That's the thing. Like, like as you mentioned, like German teams have always, given us problem. Even in the final against Borussia Dortmund as well, it was, quite an interesting game. Just to be a bit, nice. So yeah, but as you mentioned, like Stuttgart were, I think they were second last year, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken, and Bayern were
second.
third, right?
Yep.
They were second last year, so that's the thing. Like, and yeah, everyone know Bayern had the off year, but it takes a lot, as you mentioned, from the brink of relegation back to being, where they are. And the interesting thing is that they've also kept, the coach. They haven't lost their coach; they kept their coach as well. Although there were a lot of interest from the Premier League and whatnot, but they kept their coach. And they also have some interesting players here and there. So it's going to be quite interesting to see. And traditionally, we struggle against German teams. So I think, and also that element of the unknown, because as you mentioned, like I think this is the first official match between Real Madrid and Stuttgart. I'm not sure, at least in the UCL or something like that. But anyways, like it's not a team that we're used to facing. So that element of the unknown might be something that catches surprise as well. So
Yep.
it's going to be quite interesting to see. Well, also I think this is what you alluded to at the beginning, where you said like, okay, like we need different combinations. We always face Shakhtar every week, and every time we faced Inter Milan, we faced Man City always. So I feel like maybe this is what you alluded to in the sense that okay, we want to see something different. We want to see different matchups. So yeah, like Stuttgart actually offers that.
Definitely, man. It's not a team to actually laugh at. We got to be on our A game. But, even though they kept their coach this time around, like they lost their best striker to Dortmund, Girassi. He had 28 goals in 28 games last season, like a goal a game.
Yeah, man,
That's
that's
hard to
that's also one
replace.
of the omissions. It was quite strange, man. Like I don't know what they need him to do, to be honest, because I don't know if you know, but he wasn't actually nominated for the Ballon d'Or actually.
Yeah.
So that's actually quite strange. I find it really, really interesting that a player like Dani Olmo comes and plays 3 matches in the Euros, and all of a sudden he's placed in there, and then you look at people like Seiru Guirassy, and like they're nowhere to be found. It's quite interesting how like this revisionism works, because I don't know if you know, but like at the beginning of the season, he was absolutely on fire I think for the first half of the season. And the second half of the season, of course, he couldn't maintain the superhero numbers, so it kind of died
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
And also, I think injury played a bit of part in that as well. So yeah, that's it. But like he was absolutely on fire last year, so they're gonna miss him. But one thing about that is also like uh Stuttgart actually has got some really nice strikers as well. In Dennis Undav, he was actually playing in the Premier League with Brighton as well, if I'm not mistaken. And then also they have I think Demirovic. And interestingly, Undav actually scored for Germany, during the international break.
Yep.
And I think he's carried that form onto the the club football as well, because I think he scored his first Bundesliga goal of the season immediately after the international break. So yeah, I mean they have people who are flying, and also Demirovic has 3 goals in 3 matches as well. So those are people that would be interesting, to see how they cope, and especially when you consider a player like Demirovic, who is very physical, and
Yeah.
also likes to attack set pieces a lot. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how our centre backs. I was reading a stat that the game against Sociedad, Rudiger and Militao combined to lose position 20 times.
Oh,
They
that's
lost the
it?
ball
It
20
honestly felt
times
like
in
more.
20 times in 90 minutes, bro. So like yeah, that's absolutely crazy. So it's gonna be quite interesting to see how Stuttgart matches up against us. But yeah, that's the thing. We this is the reason why we are fans of football, right? To see how one team is trying to do something and the other team is trying to counter it, and see who is who achieves what or who doesn't do what. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yep. One thing that is going to play out for us additionally is that they lost both of their starting CBs to Dortmund and Bayern, respectively. So, classic Bundesliga tactics. The bigger teams poach the best
Yeah,
players.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they just signed some younger players, but then it's mostly inexperience, at least on the highest level. So we should be able to do something with this front line.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Again, also it's like for Stuttgart as well. It's similar to what we had with Sociedad in the Champions League last year, or like Newcastle in the Champions League last year as well. Okay, like they might be a good side, but like sometimes when you just get to those occasions, like it overwhelms you. Something like this, it's something that you're not used to, but like, you need a bit of time, 1, 2, 3 years, and you get used to. Even like when Man City started, getting into the Champions League as well, like they didn't have that know-how of, how to compete, and it takes a bit of time to eventually get there and understand how it is to, that you constantly put yourself in the position of just not the Champions League only, just European football as a whole, because it's now a whole different ball game. Like you're playing Real Madrid on the weekend, then you're going back, you're playing Borussia Dortmund on Sunday again, and you're repeating the process for the whole 38 game season. So like it's quite gruesome, and it requires a bit of adjusting to. So yeah, let's see if Stuttgart has what it takes to adjust to that.
Yep, we'll see on Wednesday. Before we head into the ad break, let's get a couple of comments from Sunaid. So he says, it looks like we're a million miles off right now in September, but if you retain the UCL, this group of players are immortal.
I mean, that's the thing. Suneda always comes every year and be like, yeah, if they win again, this is special. If they win again, this is special. I mean, I don't know where the specialness ends, man. Like, I mean, the group of players who have done what they've done what they've done. But I think this group of players, I wouldn't say they're immortal yet, because this group of players is Vinicius Junior, it's Rodrigo, it's Jude Bellingham, it's Kylian Mbappe, it's Tchouameni, it's Valverde. Like,
Yeah,
they have how many Champions Leagues? 2 Champions League, 3 Champions Leagues?
yeah, at least.
I mean, we had a group of players that had 5 Champions Leagues. So I don't think they're at that point. And like they need to win a couple more, 3, 4 more. Of course, like if he's talking about specific players like Carvajal, Luka Modric, of course, like those guys can get relegated to the end. They're still immortal, like they literally no one cares about them anymore. But like I do think like for players like the young players I just mentioned, like they still need to win a lot more, to get to that level of immortality.
Absolutely, man. But Sunit says I said it would be special, and we did it last time. So, but yeah, man, like, I hear your point. It's going to be a long road. I think these players, we have the squad maybe to do it, but yeah, we have to figure out a lot of things. A lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, this is what Carlo Ancelotti does, right? Like he's just the man who coasts and finds a way to win stuff. So I wouldn't be too surprised, if we end up the season winning the Champions League while being horseshit as well. But yeah, this is what the man does, man. Honestly, you have to give him credit for that. If there is a man who knows how to win, absolutely win without how they play, it's definitely Carlo Ancelotti.
Absolutely. Sunil also says Undav is looking like a decent replacement for them. Yeah, man, like last season when he was brought on loan from Brighton, first 8 games he had like 14 goals or something. He was like the best striker in Bundesliga, and then he cooled off a bit, and then he finished off the season with 18 goals. But yeah, if he has anything similar, and then Demirovic can actually contribute, I think these guys can keep that position at least in the UCL for next season as well.
Yeah, that would be quite interesting. Like, and Undav also, like, if I remember correctly, like while he was in the Premier League, he was also like a wind-up merchant as well. He's someone who also likes, to talk to people and rile people up as well. So it's gonna be quite interesting to see how and also he's a German international, so of course he knows Tony Rudiger quite well as well. So that might be an interesting matchup to see. But yeah, I actually look forward to that. And I actually look forward to that.
Yeah, it's actually rare nowadays, right? The strikers actually talking shit to others. Like the guy that absolutely comes to mind is Diego Costa, like long out of the game. I actually miss him.
Man, I don't want to be the whole the game is gone thing, man. That's
It
the
is gone,
hurricane
Farooq. It
thing.
is gone.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, honestly, because that's something, like we had like personas. Like it's not even Diego Costa. You look at even like the biggest strikers in the Premier League, like you look at the Ruud van Nistelrooys, you look at the Didier Drogba's, like even when you come to Spain as well. Okay, like yeah, Raul was a very role model person, but then like you look at all the strikers and you feel like you look at likes of Samuel Eto'o, like you look at even Fernando Torres, and they're like people who like will get in your face and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do shit and I'm gonna do shit, and even Cristiano Ronaldo, just our person as well was a big talker and also a big game player as well. So like yeah, but right now like it's all gone and we don't see anything anymore. Right now, the only thing we see is the stupid thing with Vinicius and his and I don't know, and the people with him and against him and stuff like that. But in the past, it used to be fun. Watching, as you mentioned, Diego Costa and Sergio Ramos go at it, man. Like and that's the thing. Like if you remember, like after the game, they're all laughing and hugging each other and kissing each other, and then they go to the game and like it's literally Tom and Jerry all over again. So it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. But yeah, as we don't want to say, but the game is gone.
All right. Tales of the Blanco is in the comments. He says, "Can I join?" Yeah, man. Like, let's hit us up in our Instagram. We'll set up a meet. Maybe we'll. You can even come on for the post match if you're like willing, and then it all lines up. But yeah, man. Let's go to the ad break and then discuss the Real Madrid side of things. Doris, take it away.
Hola Madridistas, if you've ever wondered how you can help and support this channel and project of ours, I'm here to remind you we've partnered up with Manscaped, so you can go to their website, use our code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping worldwide. That's code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Whether you're bald, you want to be bald, or you are in the process of balding because this season is already helping with that, I have a new thing for you. It's called the Dome Shaver Pro. It is a trimmer that helps you, shave your head. It is ergonomic. It has blades that come together and apart at the angle that you want to shave. It is very easy to use. It is fully waterproof. You can use it in the shower, easy to clean. It has a flex adjust technology, like I said, where blades come together at the part. It's very comfortable to shave your head. Dome Shaver Pro is also equipped with a high performance 9500 RPM motor, which means no matter how your battery life is over time, the motor will always be efficient and fully working. And speaking of battery life, it has an hour and a half in its life or battery, so it means that you can take it on a trip fully charged. It will still be charged when you get there. It also has a lock on the battery, so if you travel and you're scared that maybe the trimmer will turn on or something, it will lock it so that never happens. Plus it helps save battery life. You can also get the Dome Shaver aftershave lotion. It has aloe vera, colloidal oats and gotu cola. It helps calm and nourish the skin after shaving. Plus, it has a fresh green and light woods, scent that's subtle and refreshing. So yeah, use code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping. That's code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Thank you for watching.
Hey guys, we're back. Let's discuss Real Madrid. Where do you want to start first, man? There's a lot of things going wrong, but do you want to start with the positives first? Like Tchouaméni, Militao, they're healthy. Tchouaméni is back. Bellingham is back. He was in training as well yesterday. Things are looking good. People are saying like we played like shit because Bellingham was not there, Tchouaméni was not there. Do you think these two players coming in will magically change everything?
No, I mean, these people were they sleeping when we played the first two games of the season,
Mallorca,
or the first
yeah.
three games of the season with even Atlanta
Yeah.
in the UEFA Super Cup. These guys were they were on the pitch now. Tchouaméni was there, Bellingham was there.
Yep.
So what? I mean, the point is just that I feel like the team is too slow, man. I feel like we have a lot of fast players, but we are too slow. And I also feel like wrong people are taking wrong passes, man. Like Rudiger is taking passes that, I don't know. Like you want to attempt these things, but like in the past, we saw that he was able to execute some passes, but now he's unable to do that. We see players, people calling out Vini and all that. Like you're not putting people in position to perform. Like we are good at breaking away, like, but we're not giving these guys the ball fast enough to break away. They have 5 players around them. Like, what are they expecting to happen? Like honestly, it's really strange. And we want Vini to become something that he is not, like he's not a center forward, even last season he wasn't playing as a center forward, So when Kylian Mbappe is running down and occupying space for him, it's very strange, to take the role of a center forward, you understand? So like it's quite interesting because it's like, oh, Vini doesn't want to pass to Mbappe doesn't want to pass to Vini. No, it's because like they're literally in the same space. Who is passing to who?
Yeah.
You understand? So this is the thing where like, okay, maybe Rodrigo might be the solution. Honestly, I don't know. Really, because like one thing we know about Rodrigo is that he has that ability to, like read the spaces and arrive in certain positions, but like this has never been Vinicius' strong suit, you understand? So it's quite interesting to see what's gonna happen. But like, oh yeah, are they back? Of course they're back, because we need bodies. Brahim Diaz is out, so we need bodies, you understand? But like, do they come back and solve our problem? I just don't think so, because we saw them for the first 2, 3, 4 games of the season and nothing happened.
Yeah.
Nothing. If there is one person I am waiting to come back, it's Kamavinga, because he's the person that I haven't seen in this situation yet.
Yeah.
So maybe he gives us something different. But Jude was there. Jude, for all his athleticism and everything, he's not the person who's gonna set the tempo.
Yeah.
For all, Tchouaméni was absolutely okay. Let's not say absolutely, but he was so par for the games he has played so far.
Yeah, always playing it safe. He's not the one we want like progressing the ball, right?
Exactly, you understand? So it's not like, I don't know where this revisionism come, or like, sometimes when someone goes away, then you realize, you forget all what they do and you start, glorifying them and, oh, I miss them, you understand? Yeah, of course, these are phenomenal players, but the point is that all the players on the pitch are phenomenal players, but like, there is something missing there. There is something missing there. Like, either the coaching staff is asking them to do something they cannot do, or they're not passing the information enough clearly. There is a problem somewhere that needs to be fixed. And in my opinion, it's not about the people on the pitch. It's about the people on the sidelines.
Right. Man, but I have to ask, you've seen Vinicius' last 2 games, right? He hasn't exactly, like, last season he was able to get past 2, 3 players with ease like that. We're spoiled by that. We're expecting to see that, but then he's not really able to do that in the last, at least in the from the start of the season, right? Why do you think that is the case? It's not just the connection with Mbappe. Do you think he's just off form for a bit? A lot of guys were just
Of course,
asking for him to be benched.
Definitely, like, he's definitely off form. He's definitely 100% off form. Because even if you remember, like I've always said, it's like, one thing with Carlo Ancelotti's team is that individual brilliance is what like, he has like what's he called, freedom of expression for his attackers. So basically, like, it's the individuality that wins the games, you understand? So when the player in an individual sense is not on form, it doesn't click. So like, definitely Vinicius Junior is off form. There is no doubt about that. There is no 2 sentences to that. Do you want to drop Vinicius Junior? Hell no.
Hell no.
Definitely not, bro. I mean, Vinicius Junior number 7, it is there, cemented on the floor in the pitch. There isn't. Why would you bench him?
Yeah.
Definitely doesn't happen, because the point is, you want him to play into form.
Exactly.
You want to play him into form, that's just the thing. Like, for me, I definitely know that Vinicius Junior is off form, but yeah, it happens. A lot of players, have this off moments, but I believe that he's gonna, regain some form and get into click into gear. And also, let's not forget as well. Also, I heard what you were saying, at the for the post match as well, and I totally agree. And it's something I also mentioned as well in the past. You look at the start we had last year. Take away Bellingham's goals, it's basically a mirror of what's happening this year.
Yep.
You understand? So now it's what we are scoring penalties. We have 5 goals and 4 of them are penalties. Like, that's absolutely crazy, It's absolutely crazy.
It's
but
not pretty.
Yeah, I do think, the players are going to click into form. And one thing interestingly is that Kylian Mbappe is actually starting to, starting bit by bit to, get into that position, Bit by bit, Kylian Mbappe is getting into that position. I think if Kylian Mbappe gets into the position, like, we are going to have, an easy 40-goal striker. That's someone that we've not had in a very long time, but we're going to have an easy 40-goal striker, with Kylian Mbappe. He's starting to learn the clicks and how to drag people and what is and what is not. So I do think, bit by bit we will get there. But it's just that Barcelona right now looking unfallable, but it's 4 points. 4 points. The point is, if we win them, if we defeat them home and away, we covered that 4 points. So like, and nothing is lost yet, As I always say, like, I don't think anyone wins any title or loses any title in September, honestly. We just need to keep grinding out the results bit by bit, keep grinding out the result bit by bit. And I do hope that when these players come back into form, it's going to be fixed. Because honestly, I think everyone knows how I feel. I don't think the people on the sideline can fix this issue. The point is, we need that form of Vinicius Junior to come back. We need that form of Tchouaméni to come back. You understand? So these are the things we need to see how Camavinga is able to come back. Is he going to be able to effect a change or not? I don't know. You understand? But as I said, like, he's one player that we haven't seen in this context yet. Maybe he's able to do something or not. We don't know yet, you understand? But like, we just need those individual players that, will make key attacking decisions to come into form. Honestly. So Kylian Mbappe, he's gonna hit the strides. Jude is gonna come back gradually, also hit the strides, and with Vinicius Junior hitting the strides, I think eventually we will get there. But the point is, the football is still gonna be horrendous. But the issue is, football is shitty. The players also out of form.
Yeah, man, like Jabada Umlagata is in the chat. He says, "Howdy guys, I get that we're not feeding the strikers well enough at the moment, but them boys up front can't successfully take on defenders 1v1 and they fail time after time. It's absolutely embarrassing." Man, I just wanted to bring this point, right? You mentioned about the front three, like not really in form. Mbappe is slowly clicking into gear, but what exactly is the situation? Is the fix? Should Rodrigo be actually moved up to the left wing to combine with those two players, make stuff happen, or should he just stick to the right? What's your solution? What do you see?
Bro, you put Rodrigo in the left wing, what happens to Vinicius Junior? You throw him to the right?
No, like all of them are playing in the left. This is what people are complaining about, right? Like Mbappe and Vinny are not combining, or they're not able to combine for some reason. Like, will bringing Rodrigo over actually help them out?
I do think like bringing Rodrigo over means like one of them has to go out. Like Vinicius has to be off, or Mbappe has to be off. This is just what I think. Because if we remember correctly, like we played against Man City with Rodrigo on the left, and it was basically like two left attackers basically, but like Vini was almost central and Rodrigo was on the left. Rodrigo was on the left and Vini was central. So I think that's something that can be replicated again. But I just feel like it will be very difficult to replicate that with both Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius in the lineup, and also Rodrigo playing in that position. You understand?
Plus Bellingham,
but I do understand
on that
what you're
left-hand
saying.
side as well.
I'm sorry?
Bellingham is going to be on that left-hand side as well. He's not going to come on the right.
He ain't. So that's the thing, So that's why I feel like one person has to be off, and unfortunately, Brahim Diaz got injured and he's out for 2 months, so it's quite sad that as well. So let's see how that will pan out. But I do get, while I get what you're saying, I just don't see how feasible that will be, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just don't see how feasible. I just think like it's again up down to the players to figure out, what's gonna, it's up down to the players to figure out themselves what that attacking influence is gonna be. But it's again new players, also a new mix of of the team, so it's gonna take a bit of time to understand this configuration.
Absolutely. The other question is, it's like people have kind of given up on this front three. They say it can't work. So I think Javada is like echoing some of those sentiments, right? He says it's early days, but it's like Mbappe and Vinny need that number 9 center forward up front to absorb the physical pressure from the defenders, so they can use the space to punish them.
I mean, well, I don't know, man. The point is, it's like I think I don't know. I have said this. Like, I feel like difficult discussions has to be had with Rodrigo eventually when at a certain point in time.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's gonna be had. If this continues like this, it's gonna be had sometime, because it's obvious that as the commenters highlighted that like maybe there is that number 9 that is needed to play, and this is the reason why I always go back to the term the pivot gang. There's a reason why the pivot gang was a hashtag while Kylian was playing for Paris, and also his best performances has come while he was playing off Olivier Giroud.
Yeah,
this is the point. You understand? So, and now he's playing off what's it called, Kylian Thuram. He's playing off Thuram as well right now. In France as well. So it's just like that. Like his best performance has always been for France, and the reason is because he's always been that number 9 there. But the question is like, which number 9 do you get to play with him right now? This is also the question. You understand? So you have to find a number 9 who is willing to combine and create space for Kylian Mbappe. And the question is like, how many of those are there out there right now? So this is also another question that begs an answer. So it's gonna be quite interesting to see. But I do think these guys can figure out how to work. But of course, like the optimal way will be to have a number 9 with them.
Absolutely. I don't know, man. Like, let's see. Carlo could figure out the diamond with Bellingham. Let's see if we can figure this one out. I honestly have like no long-term solution. It's just that you have to try new things and then see what sticks against the wall.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like we can go back to the diamond with Jude, but then also like Toni Kroos was a very important facet of that.
Yep.
Because the point is like the team wants to play the same way without having Toni Kroos. And that does not make sense.
Yeah.
You understand? So the team has to reinvent itself. And this is where, Carlo Ancelotti comes into play. But I said, like, I just don't have that trust in that. If something happens, it's because Vinicius rediscovers the form. It's because Kylian Mbappe, remind people why he's, the most valuable player in the world. So something like this. So that's the thing. So we just hope and pray that those guys, get into that. Otherwise, it's gonna be quite an interesting season.
Interesting. It's not the right word, but yeah. Yeah, man, but enough about the attack. Like, let's hope, maybe the Champions League is exactly what Vinicius needs, away from the La Liga crowds, the UCL anthem playing again to discover his form. But enough about the attack. Let's actually come back on the defense. Like, we've looked vulnerable in the last few games. We leave a lot of spaces out in the midfield. Like, in theory, just having all of these players, right, Tchouaméni, Bellingham, and Valverde, should have, leave no space for the opposition at all. But somehow we seem to be leaving even more space than when we had Cruz. Why do you think that is? Is it just because of, miscommunication? It's pretty much the same players playing with each other, right? How does this happen?
Do you remember how the team started yesterday? We started with 4 defense. Of course, we know who the 4 defenders are. And then we had Modric, Fede, Arda.
Mhm.
And then we had Diaz, Kylian, and Vinicius Jr. Then Diaz was out, Rodrigo came in, right?
Yep.
So basically, you have Arda Güler, who is, I don't know, playing very forward, very offensive-minded as a 10. And then you have a midfield two of Fede Valverde and Luka Modric. Luka Modric is 39 years old. You don't expect him to be able to cover that much ground. So basically, it's Fede Valverde doing a one-man job between the attack and the defense.
And
right?
He's not really proficient at that number 6 role, right? He's not comfortable sitting just in
Definitely.
front of the defenders. I mean, just forget about last game, man. Like, that was an outlier. We're probably not going to have that formation again. But even when we had Tchouaméni, when we had Bellingham, we looked shaky against Mallorca or Las Palmas.
Yeah, that's also a very, very valid point, man, honestly. But I was just saying, like, yesterday, the reason why
Oh, yeah.
the reason why, they had this, yesterday's whatever was, quite more pronounced was because of that. But I think, again, that's the thing, if you remember, we talked about something in the games we started the season with, Tchouaméni doesn't know exactly where he needs to be.
Correct.
You understand? So because Tchouaméni doesn't know exactly where he needs to be, Fede Valverde or Jude Bellingham have to cover a lot for that. And in that covering, they also create an opening on the positions that they leave.
Plus, they don't contribute as much in the stack because they have to worry about covering Tchouaméni's ass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think this is something that also matters a lot, because basically what the kind of what's it called? The formation that we have, based as what Sidlow said, is this. We have the back 4, we have the front 3. And then we have Jude, who is together with the front 3, which becomes a front 4. And then we have Tchouaméni, who is together with the back 4, which becomes a back 5. And then we have Fede Valverde, who is just like the connector between the two sides.
Poor guy, man. I
You
feel for
understand?
Fede, man.
Which is basically impossible, which is mathematically, it's humanly
crazy.
impossible to
Yeah,
have,
it's
to
crazy.
have this. So there is this, but I don't know, man. I feel like, that's the way that teams are, and that's the thing. Again, you look at it, you look at the caliber of the teams that we've played and that have given us a lot of problem. It's not like top caliber teams, okay, with all due respect to the Real Betises and the Mallorcas and the Sociedads, it's not like absolutely top caliber teams,
Yep.
So this is the point as well. But you look at that and you feel like there's also a drop in form. Okay, yeah, Militao is just coming back from an injury. Maybe we have to give him a bit of a leeway for that. He's not yet fully 100% fit. But I think one of the biggest problem is just the midfield. Is quite disorganized. I think the domination of the midfield is just lacking right now. So a lot of teams are able to find those spaces in the middle of the park, and because of that, they're able to find a way to create chances here and there.
Yeah, man. So I guess the solution is just, let Tchouaméni figure it out. Let Valverde figure it out. Let's have all of the midfield players, because they're not really out of form, right? It's just they're figuring out the new position, figuring out how to live life without Toni Kroos. So hopefully, within the next 2 months, they get back into form.
I believe in this group of players, man. I think these players are really, really talented. As I said, I mean, if I did not have the belief in these players, man, I would just throw in the towel and be like, yeah, let's keep going, because I definitely do not think the coaching staff can figure this out. I just believe the players are good enough to to do their shit. But the point is that when you look at it again, there's a lack of continuity, right? Kamavinga got injured in basically the beginning of the first game of the season, you know, and then we have Bellingham out, Tchouaméni out, you know, so like there is a lack of continuity there for them to be able to figure something out.
Correct.
So I think them playing together and creating that continuity, eventually they will understand what, you know, where they need to be, how they need to operate, and, you know, what needs to be done, how they need to cover for each other, and how that fluency will, you know, eventually be, that fluency and dominance will be, you know, recreated in the middle of the park. I think continuity is very important. Like we've really lacked that, you know. Like this team is missing 5 players, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
4 or 5 first crucial, you know, players, and in the middle of the park, literally we're missing Dani Ceballos, Jude Bellingham, you know, Tchouaméni, Kamavinga. That's like 4 absolutely, you know, crucial. Okay, 3 plus 1 crucial player. You understand? So it's quite interesting. But yeah, I do think, you know, like if once they're back, it's gonna take a couple of games, but they're gonna build some fluency in there.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree. Okay, man. Like, let's get into the lineups then. Do you expect like the strongest lineup? Carlo was mentioning that he might be able to rotate some CBs, but rotate with who? Do you think Tchouaméni actually plays CB this game?
That Vallejo maybe.
No way, no way.
That will be quite interesting. We rotate some CBs. What CBs is he rotating? I don't know. Maybe he has some CBs somewhere.
Maybe he's just talking about Rudiger on the right and the Militao on the left or something. God knows, man.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, maybe we might see, I don't know, Lucas Vasquez,
Maybe.
or maybe even maybe Fran Garcia rather than Ferland Mendy. Maybe this might be something that can happen.
I mean, Mendy was out as well. Like, he's just back, right? After injuries.
Yeah, exactly. So it might be, you know, it might be a fair shout about that. But on that, I don't see. I think the CBs remain the CBs, man. There's not too many things to be done about that.
Yeah.
And I think Courtois remains, unless like, because also, you know, he had like a knock or something like that during the game while he was making a save. So maybe, I don't know, if he is still fit, he should get in there. Well, I would just say like Fran Garcia for Ferland Mendy, and the back line remains same, man.
Yep, I think so too. I don't see Vallejo coming in. I don't see Tchouaméni coming in, especially after an injury, like right back to CB. That's probably not the way to go. So I guess defense is set, goalkeeper is set. In the midfield, do you see all of our starters coming back? Bellingham, Tchouaméni.
Definitely, bro. I definitely see Tchouaméni and Jude jumping back into the starting lineup, man. Definitely. I see them both starting, man. Because I think the point is like right now, like I think there is also an issue with what is being asked of Arda Güler. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but like when based on what we see in the games, it's like he's just been asked, you know, to attack a lot. And as we discussed in the chat many times, like when we watch him play for Turkey, like, you know, he's playing a very different role and he's performing absolutely phenomenal. You understand? Yeah, even here he's like he's not too bad, like, but I don't think like he's been exploited the right way.
Yep.
So I do see him drop into the bench, and I also see Luka Modric drop into the bench, and I see both Tchouaméni and Jude Bellingham jumping straight into the first 11.
I guess that leaves us with the front three, man. We don't have Brahim. It's gonna be Vinny, Mbappe, Rodrigo again.
Exactly.
So I guess for the next 2 to 3 months, is it a fair shout to say Arda Güler is the first name off the bench or Luka Modric? Those are the two guys.
Yeah, because Diaz is out for 2 to 3 months, and I would say, yeah, definitely. I think one of those two guys are the first name off the bench, either Arda or Luka.
But who do they actually replace? Do you think Rodrigo is the first guy to get cut off if you need to try something new?
Yeah, I think that's a tough one, man. Honestly, I think, for all the, you know, the flack Rodrigo has gotten, I do think like he's been the better of the 3 forwards that we've had. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but I think
agree.
he's been the better of the 3 forwards that we've had. But then again, he's been the sacrificial lamb always, you know, like he's the one who is, you know, who is the guy who's just gonna be thrown, you know, into anywhere that needs to be fitted. But yeah, man, I think that's based on the trend. I think he is the first option. So like basically to get some stability. to get some control in the middle of the park, you take off one attacker and you throw on a midfielder, and like so far, so it's been Rodrigo who's been the stuff. But I do think, depending on how the game goes, I think if the game eventually, like if we go into, I don't know, 2-0 lead at halftime or something, I do think then maybe Carlo will look towards like, okay, like maybe we can take off Vini or we can take off Kylian Mbappe and throw in a midfielder in there.
Yeah, go back to the diamond and get some solidity. Or if you're chasing a game, throw in one more guy, just Endrick, just bring off Xiaomini or something. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Nah, Carlo is not gonna do that, bro, unless if it's like the 88th minute, 88, 85th, 86th, 87th, and then be like, okay, let's remove one person. But like, yeah, as a first sub, I don't think that happens, man. Like,
yeah, definitely. All right, I guess we have our lineups. We are looking positive. Let's see. Let's go for the predictions, Farooq.
I go for a Real Madrid win, a 3-1 victory at the Bernabeu.
Oh, 3 goals. Wow. Are they all
3-1.
non-penalty goals?
Yeah, we have one guaranteed penalty goal.
One guaranteed penalty, yeah. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 2-1. I feel like it's gonna be way closer. I feel like Undao, for some reason, he's gonna have it against Rudiger or like Militao, and then we're gonna see a fun game.
Yeah. All right. That's, I mean, as long as we win, so that's the thing. We need to get off this campaign winning. So yeah, and then we can move on with our lives.
Yeah, on to the next one. But yeah, folks, there you have it. You have the predictions and everything. Stay tuned for the post-match, and Sid is also going to be bringing you footage from the Bernabeu, some fan cams and some fun content. So head on over to Instagram after the game to check out our fun content. In addition, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Manscaped and Fanatics. Go check out the links in the description. It's a great way to help out the channel and keep this going. Yeah. Last but not the least, big shout out to Real Madrid Committee, our close partners over at Instagram. So they have a good Instagram channel. Check them out. The link is in the description as well. With that, we bid adieu. You know what they say. Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.